Let's be real for a second. Have you ever felt like building wealth is some exclusive club and you just don't have the password? You know, like it's only for people with massive paychecks or fancy family names? Well, today we are going to blow that myth right out of the water.
So let's dive right in. What we're going to do is lay out a super practical roadmap to build real financial stability. And I mean no matter where you're starting from. This has nothing to do with luck. It's all about having a solid plan.
All right, here's the game plan for today. First up, we're going to bust a huge myth about wealth. Then we'll tackle the most important part, getting your mindset right. After that, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of building a financial base, explore how to grow beyond your income, and finally, we'll talk about the awesome power of just playing the long game.
Okay, let's start with the big one. We've got to dismantle this massive barrier, this belief that your paycheck decides your financial destiny. I'm here to tell you, it's just not true.
And this right here, this lays it all out perfectly. Just look at the two sides. Over here, you've got someone pulling in a high income, but with zero discipline. They're probably stressed out, living paycheck to paycheck, and not really getting anywhere. But then on the other side, you have someone with a more modest income, but they have rock-solid habits. They're the ones actually building steady, long-term stability. It proves, without a doubt, that it's your behavior, not just your bank statement, that's really in the driver's seat.
I love this quote because it just nails it. Think about it like this. A higher income is like having a faster car. Sure, it can get you to your destination quicker, but what if you have no map, no direction? All that speed is useless, right? You might just end up crashing and burning. The real GPS, the thing that gives you direction, that comes from your habits and your plan.
All right, so let's build on that, because before we even think about a budget or an investment app, we've got to start right here, in our heads. This is the groundwork. Your mindset is the foundation for absolutely everything else.
This is all about you taking back control. You have to start believing, truly believing, that your current situation is not your final destination. And you have to know that the small, consistent things you do every single day, they really do add up to huge changes over time. So stop worrying about the stuff you can't control, like the stock market or the economy, and put all your energy into what you can control, your actions, your habits, and your plan.
Okay, mindset is in check. Now we can actually start building. This next part is all about going from that frantic feeling of financial chaos to a place of, calm and control.
And the key here is to keep it simple, seriously. Step 1, just awareness. You've got to see where your money is actually going. No judgment, okay? We're just gathering intel. Then step 2 is all about prioritizing. And listen, this isn't about cutting out all the fun in your life. It's just about making sure your money is working for the things you really care about. And finally, step 3, you have to protect that margin, the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That means setting up a system to automatically save money, even if it's just a little bit, before you even have the chance to spend it.
And this is exactly why that first step, awareness, is so huge. For most of us, our money doesn't vanish in some big, dramatic expense. No, it just kind of trickles away in dozens of small leaks. You know what I'm talking about. That subscription you forgot you had, the daily coffee run, that late-night impulse buy. When money's tight, plugging these tiny leaks isn't just a nice idea. It's literally the most powerful thing you can do to take back control.
And please, burn this into your brain. Consistency is so much more important than the amount. Saving $20 every single week is way more powerful than saving $200 once and then never doing it again. Why? Because you're building the habit, you're building the discipline, you're proving to yourself that you're in charge. The amount can always go up later. The consistency, that has to start right now.
So once you've got that solid base, it's time to start looking ahead. This is where things get really exciting. We're going to talk about how to hit the accelerator on your financial journey by growing beyond your income.
Path number 1 is investing. And let's just get this out of the way right now. Investing is not just a game for rich people. It is a tool for anyone who wants their money to work for them over the long run. So, how do you even start? Well, you really don't need a pile of cash. You can get going with things like low-cost index funds. The easiest way to think about them is like a shopping basket that holds a tiny piece of hundreds of different big companies. It spreads your risk, and the fees are super low. And what's the secret sauce? You guessed it, consistency. Just making those small, regular contributions and then, and this is the hard part, being patient and letting time do its thing.
Okay, growth path number 2 is just as powerful, maybe even more so. And the best part? It can cost you exactly $0 to start. We're talking about developing your skills. This is your own personal engine for boosting your income over time.
Just think about the skills that are always valuable, like being a great communicator, or really knowing your way around digital tools, or just being that person who can actually solve problems. Sharpening these skills directly leads to more doors opening and a bigger paycheck, and you often don't even need to make some massive career change to see the benefits.
And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important one. All this stuff we've talked about, the mindset, the budgeting, the investing, the skills, none of it works unless you understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long-term commitment.
And a huge part of playing the long game is steering clear of this monster, destructive debt. High-interest stuff like credit cards, it's like trying to run that marathon with a boulder chained to your leg. It's actively pulling you backward, eating up your future income before you even earn it. Avoiding it is absolutely non-negotiable.
Listen to me on this one, because it's so important. At the beginning, your progress is going to feel painfully slow. I'm talking you're saving a few bucks here and there, your investment account barely budges. But that does not mean you're failing. You are building momentum. Every single consistent action is a win that builds on the one before it.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is what you do day in and day out. That sustained, positive behavior. That's the real engine of wealth. So the question isn't really, is wealth only for the rich? The real question, the one you have to ask yourself, is, are you ready to start building the habits that create it?